So these are some of the aspects that for Chinese or for China is just easier to keep being partnering with Mexico compared to keep pushing to do business with the USA. And of course, it has to do with culture, with the easiness that they found doing business, especially after COVID. Actually, during COVID, they started building this mega market, which was a very recent news that somehow they closed it, etc., etc. But they were preparing this big project. They saw this project was having amazing margins here, that people was so willing to go there and purchase whatever they sold in there. And by the way, this Chinese that contacted me very recently, a few days ago, he just told me that his friend, it was last Sunday, that opened a new kind of this warehouse shop where they have all kind of products in my city, Guadalajara, which they call Guachang. And it was so successful to the point that yesterday night he sent me this video commenting like how successful it is to be selling Chinese products here in Mexico, that it was already quite late, maybe 9 p.m., and people still purchase it from this shop. People they're crowding, wanting to purchase. I have the video in this cell phone, so I cannot show you, but nonetheless, they see this outcome, they see this result, and they are more willing to invest in this country. Especially because, as far as I have been researching on like China social media, they wanna put their like eyes on a project that can be as big as possible. And these markets, in at least in North America, is Mexico, because it's an emerging market. It's not like maybe as Canada or as USA, where the consumer is already well nurtured and it's educated. It's just different. Here, us people is just willing to consume stuff. People somehow, yeah, there are some very rich people who are willing to purchase good quality stuff, but there are also a big part of the population that have a somehow quite okay income, or not so good income, but they can afford cheap stuff, and they are very happy to do so, since they just have that little income, and they find these Chinese warehouse shops super convenient for them. They can be fashionable, they can have the best most popular accessories or electronics for that little price. And especially because their income is not that huge, then it's the only thing they can afford, so they are willing to support these businesses. They don't much care about quality, because they are not in a position to think about quality, since it's out of the reach. So my friend, now I call it friend, he somehow sells also these fake perfumes and toys, plush, how to call them? These plush toys, these toys that have inside stuffed toys and others. This warehouse was open Sunday, and he's been looking with the videos that his partner sends him back home. He's in China. How well is doing. So he's willing to invest more and more. Today he sent me a couple of items. One, it was like tops sports bra, and it was a very nice design, which I rarely see here. And he was like, what about this one? It has somehow very good support and flowers down, just colorful design, very attractive. And I thought it's a great product, since nowadays here they do a lot of shopping for this kind of items, for yoga, for Pilates, for sportwear. All around the world is trending, because fitness is trending overall. And girls do also purchase more sportwear than men. If you were to invest in men's sportwear, then your sales, your overall, cash flow, I think, will be less than if you were to invest in a female sportwear brand, create a brand from items in China, etc. So I thought this was a very nice design, and he was like should I invest in it? I'm trying to purchase 8,000 pieces to send them to Mexico. I was like, I'm not sure. Let me tell clients around whether they want it or not. But the thing is, like, their way they look at things is like he wants to invest in as much as he can, and he wants goods to be shipped here to Mexico. So in order to place like Google ads or like WhatsApp ads, I think he did WhatsApp ads, and therefore once he gets the leads, then he can just promote the products that are already here in Mexico in his partner's warehouse, where they can ship directly to anywhere all around Mexico. So in that case, they will not be hesitant or whether or not it's reliable supplier, because it's all the way back in China, and how long the shipment will take, and if they have to pay in USD, they can just directly pay in peso. They can just receive the merchandise after 1 to 3 days time. And even the WhatsApp number that he got is a Mexican number. His partner got him, and he's using this to make ads. So I think this is a good bet, as long as you have the capital or the money to invest on it, because he somehow sees that the return over the investment is just working to his favor, and his partners somehow they are getting together to expand in this market, and they just think that we are here waiting for new products, just very willing to give our pesos to them in order to purchase these products, because we need them. They are novelty and trending things we need to own. And the thing is, like, they believe that if they gonna do this sacrifice or this effort or this work towards a market, why don't just directly do it in a quite big one? So in order for them to, if the business model or the business idea works, they can just keep expanding it in other cities or in the same city in other places, because cities here are quite big, like let's say Huacheng, or the city I'm living in, Guadalajara, is quite big. So they just open this like warehouse shop. I don't know how you guys call them, but it's not a little shop, it's like a warehouse. They rent a warehouse, but it's a retail shop. So just imagine they can sell these products for like retail and supposedly wholesale. Like if you want more pieces, they will make you a discount, but they are really kind of just targeting like business to client kind of ratio. So they invest in the products, they bring it in Mexico, they retail it directly to the final customer or to the wholesaler, but the wholesaler is just like, his perfumes are wholesale is like 5 or above, which is a very minimal quantity compared to what the quantities are from purchasing from China. So it's very convenient for clients. They see this works and they just want to keep opening these warehouse shop, Chinese product shops. They call it like chadian, which basically means all type of products. They have different kind of products. So this is their business strategy. Like you go there and maybe you just go inside because it looks quite interesting. You can find different kind of products, different kind of cartoons are all around that are very attractive for the customer. And once you are there, maybe you pick, let's say you pick some earphones, and then you pick this makeup, and then you pick this perfume, and so on and so forth. So then you end up buying so many things which you were not thinking about even buying, because you were not even aware they existed. But since you went in there, the strategy of this is like Miniso, but it's like generic products from them. And I'm sure that in the future, maybe they will also be creating brands upon like this kind of big warehouse shops, so they can position themselves somehow, like just like Miniso, that we are this kind of brand, so you should purchase from us. It's not generic product. So they see it somehow very profitable business, and people is just going inside and purchasing non-stop. I have seen these videos and I'm like, wow, just like little ants going there and like purchasing. It's just purchasing. And although these people there do not seem like they have very high incomes, that they are just maybe workers or like, I mean, they still are willing to purchase. So they are targeting these kind of clients. What do you guys think about the expansion model of Chinese here in Mexico? I will keep updating you about this because there are so many other different aspects and also business models that they are also wanting to tackle. But this is one, like the warehouse shop, where one can just go inside and keep purchasing, picking stuff that one was unaware they existed. And once you're there, you cannot say no, you cannot just not buy the stuff because it's quite cheap and it's convenient and you're already there. So it's the ambience of the shop itself is quite enjoyable. Previous to that, in Mexico, we have like the ambulant market or like the cheap good market, but the vibes of the market owned by these Mexicans, I'm not having anything against that, but it's just like, let's say, Huachanbei. Now Huachanbei, nowadays, it's just a very nice market, just like a shopping mall. If you go there, it has aircon, there are beautiful LED lights, the every danko or every shop, every piece of shop is just very clean. So you feel comfortable there purchasing. This is just the same for this kind of Chinese shops that are emerging here in Mexico. They somehow understood this pretty attractive market for these clients who were previously purchasing from street, like how to call these, like street markets that were not clean, that were not safe, or that perhaps were not stable prices, that you could always be bargaining. And these other shops are comfortable enough. They have cheap prices. You don't need to bargain. You just put in the basket whatever you need. And you can, in the same place, have all kind of goods, like for sports, for toys, for, papers, like notebooks, pens, accessories for girls. So this is way more comfortable than just going to wheels markets. That usually was the business model back in the days for Mexico, or it still is for Mexicans, where you get to go and of course you get to see cheap products, but it's just not as comfortable as to go into this big warehouse where they have everything laid down in a beautiful way, presented for you. All your needs are met, even the needs that you didn't know you had. And the prices are low enough. You don't need to be like tiring yourself with the bargaining process. Plus, you can get discounted products if you want to get a little bit more quantity, so you can still make some business out of it. So yeah, this is how they are handling the Mexico market. Quite smart to do. So I believe they have in mind to open more and more this style of pretty decor and tidy shop to keep attracting clients all over Mexico. Like even little towns, these kind of shops start popping, and people is attracted to them. Like, how can you not be if in that area you rarely see such novelties? And if you want to purchase stuff, then you need to go to this dirty, unsafe area, and you need to keep communicating with various vendors over there, because each one of them has, let's say, one sells shoes, one sells this. In there, you just don't need to communicate with anyone. You just go inside and enjoy yourself. This is the business strategy. It's very pretty. So how can we not purchase if it's pretty, it's safe, it's cheap, it's wonderful? Just being around these areas, shopping non-stop. They kind of tackle us like that, and there's nothing much we can do about it.